Well, greetings and welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host, and we're going to study the Tecarta Bible study software, utilizing it on an iPad, an iPod, some kind of a tablet like a Samsung Galaxy. Some of the advantages are going to be that the actual footprint or the amount of space it takes up isn't near as bad. Also, you can turn the brightness level up and down in public. Now, there are much smaller versions, but we're going to talk about the large version tablets on this upcoming study right now. Well, here it is, folks. Let's start using an electronic tablet and see how we can study a Bible. This device right here is called a Kindle Reader HDX. It could be a iPad, an iPod, it could be a different kind of a Kindle. It could even be a Samsung Galaxy. This is what we're interested in here. This software is called Tecarta software. It's time to study our Bible. What do? We simply tap it one time and up pops the Bible. You can see where we're at right here, Genesis 1:1. To navigate, we just take our thumb and we read. If we want to go to the next chapter, we just go like that. We can use two thumbs if need be, or just one thumb. If we want to navigate this way, if we're left-handed, there's no problem. We can navigate that way to the next chapter. To go back rapidly, we can go up here to this little arrow, you can see it right there, and tap that arrow, and that'll take us back little by little by little, wherever we start our studies. Now, let's just say you're studying along here, you're doing real good, and somebody says, hey, look up something over in the book of Revelation, clear at the other end of the Bible. What do? It's very easy. You go up here and you tap on this little bar up here, and there comes the whole Bible. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. So Revelation's down here. You simply tap Revelation one time, tap where you want to go, let's just say the first chapter, and just that quick, it goes all the way over to the other end of the Bible. To get back, again, you can tap this little bar here. It takes you right back to Genesis 2 where you were. If you need to go back again, it takes you back to Genesis 1. Now, this is a lot to take in if you've never used this, perhaps. So let's start over again. This is about seniors. It's about senior classes. Let's shut this off. You come up. It's time to study your Bible. You put your hands, you securely hold your device. You tap the icon. You take your thumb, and you just, or your finger, scroll down wherever you want. When it's time to go to the next chapter, you just swipe it. You're going here, you're reading, you're doing a great job. It's time to swipe it. Something happens, you have to shut, we're on chapter 3. You have to shut your Kindle off, for instance. You have to, maybe someone else borrows it. They have to go check their email, or a day goes by. When you come back, it's going to remember where you're at and take you right back like an automatic bookmark. We'll go ahead and take a brief break right now, and we'll come back with another lesson. Okay, we're back for lesson number 2, and you remember how to get started? Okay, we go ahead and we tap the icon. Let's just say we need to start doing some more reading, and we see something and we want to put in a bookmark or even highlight something. We're going along here in Revelation 5, for instance, and we want to highlight this. We just tap it one time and go up there. There's a little plus sign. We select the color we want. Let's try blue, and just that quick, it'll highlight it for you. Now, you might say, well, I can do that myself with just a colored crayon. Well, certainly you can with a paper Bible. However, after 2 or 3 or 400 of these over a year, it's going to be real hard to find those. To find them, you come right back here to this little crayon on this side right here. And we lose a lot of people here. We start hitting on these configuration settings here, and they say, oh, geez, I'm getting confused. So let's slow down. Let's go back. You turn your Bible on. You do your reading. If you see something, I'll just go ahead and tap this real quick and pretend like there was nothing on there. Tap it one time. Tell it no, take it off, and now it's not on there. You see something you like, you tap this one time, you hit the plus sign, there's a little plus sign, and you put it in the blue, and there. To access this, say you're over here, you want to access it, you're somewhere else, you tap right here on this little crayon, and up comes a bunch of little folders right there, and we say we want the blue ones. So there's the blue one right there where we're at, Genesis 5:1. Just that quick, and we tap the little tab to go back. Easy to do. You need to do something, you tap the tab, it comes out, you see where you're at, you're done, you tap the tab again, it goes back. Okay, this is just for people that like to highlight their Bible. Other people they would prefer that this thing is their eyes get tired, for instance. They're over here, they've been doing their Bible study, and they say, gee whiz, I'm over here on number 8. Let me just mark this real quick. I'll do blue again. So down here, there's a little tiny, it says the name of the version. We're using the King James here. You tap this one time, and this will read to you. Now, this is a computerized voice. If your eyes are tired, you have to get that study done in now, today. You tap start reading, and you can hear a computerized voice in just a moment start
and God
narrating.
Noah, and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained.
Now watch it.
And the waters returned from off
going
the
to
earth
scroll automatically.
And after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. And the ark
See, it did that automatically. It scrolled. To turn it off, you tap down here one time, and it goes off. You need to turn it on again. You tap it like this, and hit the start. Or we're not going to do it again. Once is enough for right now. So you can see for free software, it'll read the Bible to you. It'll let you swipe at your own pace. It will let you navigate. How about Matthew 24? Someone says, hey, what's that end time prophecy business? You tap up here. There's Matthew. There's 24. And a lot of pastors can't turn that quick with a Bible, with an old-fashioned one, although some are very, very fast. What we see here is a red letter edition. Many Bible sales outlets will charge extra for the red letter edition. Here it's included as an option. You can turn it on or off. What are the red letters? The red letters are the words of Jesus Christ, God's Son, who came down here and had some things to say, and many people think that it'd be good for you to read it at least once in your life. So we're going to go ahead and take a break right now and come back for number 3 in just a little bit. All right, Senior Desk, we're back for another lesson. Now, since it is geared towards seniors, we're going to do a lot of repetitious, a lot of review. You tap on this and you start reading. Use 1 or 2 thumbs to scroll. Over here, you can go this way. If you want to use the thumb, you can do your thumb on the left or right hand side. To navigate quickly, we go ahead and tap up here. We see all the books. What's your favorite book in the Bible? Oh, what? Go ahead and think. Okay, 1 Peter, let's try it right there. There's 1 Peter right there. Let's say that you want to go to verse 2, just that quick, 1 Peter verse 2. You're ready to go. We've talked about if your eyes are tired, you tap down here. You tap on this little bar, and up it comes. Says start reading Peter 1:2.
1 Peter
tap it
2.
on.
Wherefore laying aside all malice, and all guile, and hypocrisies, and envies, and all evils.
And you tap it down here to shut it off. Just that easy. It's all free. Now we're going to go into some, I want you to be careful here. These are called advanced settings. Most seniors touch these, their eyes glaze over, or they lose control of their tablet. They lose control of their device because they give it to one of their grandkids to, quote, straighten out or to fiddle with, and then you're in trouble. They end up quite often playing a lot of games on these things, all jammed up, and there you are. You don't have to be scared of these settings, and I'll prove it to you. See that little gear? There's gears right here over on the right-hand side. I can point this way if I have to. There's a gear, and there's kind of like a crayon. Tap the gear one time. Let's just say you're studying, it's late at night, and you don't want to keep your spouse awake. Right up here, do you see what that is? There's a moon and a sun. Tap the moon one time, and it turns it into a night study mode. We'll tap this and get this out of the way here for you. This night study mode allows you to finish your Bible studies and not have a blazing light on your face or to keep somebody else awake. Now, how hard is that? How do you think we turn it back? Well, let's go ahead and tap the gear one time. Over here, instead of the moon, let's tap the sun. So you see there's a sun and a moon. I'll tap the moon one time here. I'll tap the sun right here. These are called icons. Just that easy. You don't have to get upset. You don't have to worry about if you make a mistake, no big deal. Just keep tapping. Always shut it off and turn it back on again. It'll reset itself. So that's a nice thing to have. Let's go back on here one more time. Now you see, we're going to get into a little bit advanced settings now. These 3 little dots, you see them right here. I'm going to tap it one time. There's my 3 dots. Here's called the font size. A lot of our seniors, we have you tap this one time, and I've got it turned up big right now, but this is called a slider, and this slider goes back and forth however big you want it to be. We're going to keep it nice and big. I never take it all the way. I take it back just a little bit from maximum, and there's reasons for that we'll talk about some other time. Hit OK. Font size, it's going to come real small. If you don't like the type of font, you can go to a different kind of style, but we're going to keep the old senior font on. When you're done, you just hit this little upside down arrow, it goes back, and then your font's under control. Over here we have a Geneva Study Bible, a King James. You can load up literally 100 pounds of Bibles on this thing, on the chip. It doesn't add any weight to it because it's just data. But say you wanted to, this old Geneva Bible is what they used when the Pilgrims came over. Tap the Geneva, right down here, it swaps, and it tells you down here. We'll go ahead and close this. Couple taps. Now when we look down here, we can see it says it's the Geneva Bible. Let's say, I don't want the Geneva anymore. Let me get back to the good old King James. You tap right here. You tap the King James. Give it just a second, and just that quick it's back. And that's called toggling between different Bible versions. You may never ever want to do that, but it's there for free if you do. And you can have a lot of Bible versions on here should you choose. Okay, we're going to go ahead and shut this off now. This is the end of this lesson. We're going to take a quick breather. Come back for a little more review. You guys are doing great. Okay, folks, we're over halfway done. Now we're going to get in some real easy-to-use, interesting tools. We've turned our Bible on. Let's go ahead just for the fun of it. Remember how to take it all the way back to Genesis 1? There's Genesis. There's 1. Just that quick. That's one way to take it back, isn't there? Now, many times you may say you heard something growing up and was in the Bible. Maybe you think your pastor, priest, rabbi, or religious worker misspoke. You say, that's not in the Bible. How could they say something like that? I don't remember that, but you're not sure. See this little icon called looks like a magnifying glass. It's called a search icon. Let's tap on this. This is a very easy one to look up words all the way through the Bible. You get to do the studying and look it up for yourself in privacy. Let's type on here once, and for instance, let's type in the word wine, W-I-N-E. Now keep your eyes here, folks. Tap, just that quick. It has completely scoured the entire Bible, all 233 results where the word wine is found. And now you can go through here, you can decide for yourself what was going on with wine. Did they or did they not mix it with water? They didn't. And some different things like that you can discover. Let's just say we're going through here real fast. You say, there it is right there. It says that wine is the poison of dragons. You say, I heard something about that. No, that's not quite the one. It says, Eli said, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine. Here's a woman being accused of being drunk. You tap on that, and right there, you see that color up there? That color fades away. It's a vapor color. That alerts your eye that that's the verse. He says, how long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine. You get to read it then in context and find out that woman was falsely accused, that it was not her fault. So you get to do all these things. Now we're over in 1 Samuel 1. How do you get back quickly? Remember that little arrow? Just that fast, you're all the way back to Genesis. Let's try this once more. Let's try another word. Let's just say you're in a group and someone says, the word Spain's not in the Bible. The Bible is an old fogey book. There's nothing in there. Well, let's type it in and find out. Spain. S-P-A-I-N. The old pastors used to preach this. I'm going to go ahead on 3. I'm going to tap this. 1, 2, 3. Just that quick. It scoured the Bible. And sure enough, Spain is mentioned twice in the Bible, there and there. Let's read one of them. Tap it. See up there, that blue ink, and it fades away? It's a vapor. That draws your eye up to it. That's an expensive feature. It's absolutely free. I read, when therefore I have performed this, and have sealed to them thy fruit, I will come by you unto Spain. So Spain, it would take you a long time to look that up by yourself if you didn't know where it was in the Bible. So that's called the word search up here. Let's go ahead and go all the way back to Genesis 1. Let's take a breather and then do some review and see all the fantastic free tools. You may only use a couple of these tools, 1, 2, or 3, or just one reading, but it's good to know they're there in a pinch. Okay, folks, we're back, and this is we're winding down here to the last of the usable features for a senior. And this is going to be called auto scroll. We know there's different ways to read this. We've shown you. You can scroll with your thumbs. You can turn pages with your thumbs. You can use your whole hand. Whatever you want to do. You can tap down here. You can listen to the Bible and have them play it. You can go over here and tap on that little gear, and you can turn it to night use where the little moon comes on, and you can cut things down. Everything's going your way on this. To the right of the moon, there are 3 little dots. Remember those? Let's tap that. and it says down here, auto scroll. To allow it, you're going to put yes. Let's going to say, yeah, I'm going to let it have an auto scroll. You hit the upside down arrow here, tap the tab to get rid of that. We don't need that. Now, when you're reading, those old senior hands get tired, you can flip this with your hand, and it will scroll automatically. And you can just hold this like an old stubborn senior, there you go, and just let that thing up and keep you focused. I'm kind of making a joke, but sometimes our seniors, now when it gets to the end, we'll let you see one time what happens. Also on that same control that says, if you want to stop it, what if you touch it? It stops, no problem. What if you want to look at something here? It's not going to go on. What if you go over here? It doesn't do anything. Just when you give it a little tap, a little nudge, it will auto scroll. That's right. Let those eyes rest. Let those hands rest. Just rest it on your lap. Get that Bible study in. You don't have an excuse anymore. You can find time for something like this, can't you? Sure. Now, the auto scroll feature, you can control the speed by, again, we're not going to do that now. You could tap on here, it'll say the speed. This is about as fast as most seniors take it. This is the setting that it's set on. So, we're going to go ahead and turn the auto scroll. How do we turn it off? Just touch it. It's no problem. What if you just fall asleep? It's no big deal. What if you just take your Kindle reader and put it down? It'll shut itself off. Everything's fine. You can't hurt this stuff. Now, our next one, we want you to get your pencil and paper. The next lesson is going to be the last one, and that's going to be a heavy review. We're going to go over a lot of the stuff and kind of prepare you to show you that you can do this. You know, you spend $100 for a nice Bible, we'll spend a couple hundred more and get a decent device here. You can carry it with you. You can control the light, how bright it is. This little switch up here, I hate to even do it right now, called brightness. You can control the whole thing. You can turn it down so dark you can't see it, or up so bright it almost hurts your eyes. Everything's under control. You just need a little tutoring, a little counseling. Let's take a breather. We're going to come back, and we're going to go over the big kind of a review, and then send you on your way. This class is doing great, and you are too. Folks, if you wish, you can go ahead and leave now and call it quits. For those of you like to hang around a little bit and have a bonus lesson on the little tiny, almost the size of a deck of cards called an iPod or sometimes a smartphone, we'll have a brief, a very, very small lesson here coming up in just a few seconds, and you can get a sense of the difference, the perspective, and see which one might be best for you. Maybe one of each. Okay, we're going to go down to a little iPod now and have a quick lesson. Greetings and welcome to the broadcast. We're going to take this little tiny iPod that has the Tecarta Bible software on it, and we're going to set this up for just a quick little primer. Let's go ahead and set the font where you can read it. We see now, when you get ready to turn it off and on, the same as the other. You tap the icon, and up comes the Bible. Up here is the versions, and here you can get to the different Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you want to hit Matthew, you hit Matthew once, just like in the other one. Matthew 25, let's give that a try. And just that quick, there's Matthew 25. You go back the same way here. What's different about these little ones, let's go ahead and zero in for you seniors out there. Yeah, we'll just let this come up. Okay, is right over here. This is where the little control panel lies. Remember that gear, senior? Tap that gear, and there it is. What do you think that's going to do if we hit that moon? Right. Now the moon's going to go down, and there it is. We're back to reading with a low light situation. Back on the gear, and turn it back on the sun, and there it is. I'm going to go ahead and try something here. I'm going to tap the gear. I'm going to tap this little book right here. And what that does, that allows this to turn into an actual page. So you can sweep the page. Remember, the Apple products give you a little bit more. You can take the page and turn it like a real page with your fingers. Forward, backwards. And many people, even the seniors, feel more comfortable having a page to turn. If you don't like having a page like that, you tap the little gear, tap back to the regular style, and then we know about that from your last lesson. This is just a little bonus lesson. We're showing you if you don't have enough money to get a full-size item, you can go on a place like Amazon or somewhere, get these things cheap. They're around a year or two old. Battery won't be so good in them when they sit a long time. Down there is the version, King James Version, and back here the arrow works. What if you search on wine? Remember, let's try something besides wine. Let's try food, F-O-O-D, search. Just that quick, all 48 examples of food came through. Let's say, well, there's all the food of 7 years. Let's tap that. And it talks about, see, this does it in gray, and the gray vapors. It doesn't use colors. It vapors. It talks about gathering food the 7 years. This is the end of the bonus broadcast on the little tiny pod. We're going to go ahead and go back and let you take a look at the actual size. Let's get this thing back here where you can actually see it. It's not a lot. It's something. I mean, we've had to put some seniors. A lot of times seniors will drop these, so we put some non-skid material here for each individual senior to fit their hand personally. So a lot of seniors can't grip all the way. We help the senior. We help him start studying his Bible. All this stuff is free, by the way, or you can just do it yourself. Just buckle down and start studying yourself, or we'll give you some lessons. Take care, best to you, and bye for now.